Get ready, because today we're breaking down last week's NFL action to answer the big question. Did you outsmart the sportsbooks, or did they pull the strings? We're diving into the key matchups, following the public money, and revealing who really won. Stick with us, because by the end of this video, we'll know for sure who came out on top. And as George Santayana wisely said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Let's learn from the past so we can win in the future. Hit that subscribe button and join AI Sports Predictor, where the edge is always in your hands. Tonight, we're recapping the most bet on game of the week, the Ravens vs Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. This was the first game of the year, and with nothing else on the schedule, it attracted a staggering 475,558 bets. Let's break down how it played out and see how the sportsbooks came out on top. Starting with the spread, we had 54% of the public money on the Ravens at +3. The Chiefs came out on top with a 27-20 win, covering that spread by 7 points. The sportsbooks won here, as the majority of the public money was backing the Ravens to cover. Next, looking at the money line, 52% of public money was on the Ravens to win outright. Many sharp bettors were expecting an upset, but the Chiefs' victory handed the sportsbooks another win, as the majority of the money on the Ravens didn't cash in. Finally, let's talk about the total. The total was set at 47 points, and with the final score of 27-20, it landed exactly on the number, resulting in a push for most bettors. So, what's the score after this game? Sportsbooks, 2, public, 0. We're keeping track of every game, and right now, the sportsbooks are in control. Now for Game 2. The matchup between the Jets and the 49ers. This game, which was Monday Night Football and the second most bet on game of the week, saw 417,997 bets, and here's how it all played out. Starting with the spread, the 49ers opened at -4.5, but as bets poured in on the Jets, the line dropped to -3.5 just before kickoff. Despite 53% of public money backing the Jets, the 49ers covered the spread, marking another win for the sportsbooks. When it comes to the money line, we're not counting it in this recap. The 49ers was set at -205 for most of the week, and generally, bettors start to engage with the money line around -130. The high juice at -205 kept many away, so it's considered a non-factor for this video. Finally, let's examine the total. It started at 44 and dropped to 42.5 before kickoff. 68% of public money was on the under 43.5, but the game stayed over, giving another win to the sportsbooks. The final score of the game was 49ers 32, Jets 19. So, what's the score after Game 2? With the 49ers covering both the spread and the total, and the moneyline not being a factor due to the high juice, it's another win for the sportsbooks. Final score, sportsbooks 4, public 0. The matchup between the Packers and the Eagles. This game, which was one of the most bet on games of the week, saw 382,046 bets, and here's how it all played out. Starting with the spread, the Eagles opened at -2 and the line moved slightly to -1.5 just before kickoff. Despite 64% of public money backing the Packers, the Eagles covered the spread, marking a win for the sportsbooks. Regarding the money line, the Eagles were set at -145 for most of the week. This high juice deterred many bettors, so while the public did win on the money line, it's considered a non-factor due to the steep price. Finally, let's examine the total. It opened at 49.5 and stayed at 49. 77% of public money was on the over, and with the total reaching 63, the public won this one. Although the total is a less bet on market by casual bettors, we'll concede this win to the public. The final score of the game was Packers 29, Eagles 34. So, what's the score after Game 3? With the Eagles covering the spread, the moneyline being a non-factor due to high juice, and the total going over, it's a win for the public on this one. Final score, sportsbooks 5, public 1. The thrilling matchup between the Rams and the Lions that went into overtime. This game, which saw 273,751 bets, was packed with action. Here's how it all played out. Starting with the spread, the Lions opened at -4.5 and the line moved slightly to -5 before kickoff. 52% of public money backed the Lions, who covered the spread with their win, giving a win to the public. For the money line, the Lions were set at -200 for most of the week. This high juice kept many bettors away, so while the public did win on the money line, it's considered a non-factor due to the steep price. Finally, let's examine the total. It opened at 52.5 and moved to 53.5. 77% of public money was on the over, and with the total reaching 54, the public won this one as well. The final score of the game was Lions 26, Rams 20. This is where the public saw a big win. We didn't see this coming, as the game went to overtime and likely saw a surge of last-minute bets on the Rams. While we believe the sportsbooks might have won on the late money, we have no concrete proof, so we will concede this win to the public. Final score, sportsbooks 5, public 3. With 201,807 fewer bets on the Lions vs Rams game compared to the Chiefs vs Ravens game, the sportsbooks were in a position to absorb the loss. The strategic win for the public in this lower bet game was likely a calculated move by the sportsbooks to keep bettors engaged and returning for future games. The sportsbooks dominated the first 3 high bet games, securing significant profits. By allowing the public to win on a lower bet game, they not only mitigated potential losses but also maintained ongoing engagement from the betting public. As always, this dynamic showcases how the sportsbooks balance their bottom line while managing public perception. We're going to wrap up these games quickly now, as the number of bets has dropped. Let's keep it brief to avoid dragging things out. Next up, we have the Jaguars vs Dolphins game. Total bets, 166,435, spread. The Jaguars covered the spread. Total, the public lost on the total. The sportsbooks won on both the spread and the total. With 52% of the money on the Dolphins, the final score was Jaguars 17, Dolphins 20. The total was set at 49, but the game ended with a total of 37. Despite 87% of the public betting on the over, the sportsbooks took both wins. Let's move on to the next game. Let's quickly move on to the Cowboys vs Browns game. Total bets, 164,522, spread. The Cowboys covered the spread. Total, the public won on the total. A massive 92% of the public was betting on the Cowboys to cover the 2.5-point spread, and they won. The final score was Cowboys 33, Browns 17, making the total 50. The total was set at 41, and with 74% of the public betting on the over, they also came out on top. The public wins on both the spread and the total. Let's keep going. Cardinals vs Bills game. Total bets, 162,376, spread. The Cardinals covered the spread. Total, the public lost on the total. 59% of the public money was on the Cardinals with the 6.5-point spread, and they covered. The final score was Cardinals 28, Bills 34, making the total 62. The total was set at 46, and with 60% of the public money on the under, the sportsbooks won. So, the public wins on the spread, but the sportsbooks take it on the total. On to the next through the remaining games and see how the sportsbooks and public fared on the spreads. Texans vs Colts, bets, 161,498. Result, sportsbooks win. Titans vs Bears, bets, 153,591. Result, sportsbooks win. Steelers vs Falcons, bets, 149,401. Result, public wins. Broncos vs Seahawks, bets, 141,414. Result, sportsbooks win. Panthers vs Saints, bets, 140,606. Result, sportsbooks win. Commanders vs Buccaneers, bets, 137,385. Result, sportsbooks win. Vikings vs Giants, bets, 135,335. Result, public wins. Patriots vs Bengals, bets, 126,354. Result, sportsbooks win. Raiders vs Chargers, bets, 118,478. Result, sportsbooks win. Alright, family, let's wrap this up. Here's the rundown of how the sportsbooks fared this week. Against the spread, sportsbook record, 11 wins, 5 losses. Against the totals, sportsbook record, 9 wins, 7 losses. As you can see, the sportsbooks dominated against the spread, winning 11 out of 16 games. They also managed to edge out on the totals, with a record of 9-7. Now, here's why we believe this is highly likely to be fixed. Prime time games. Notice that in the prime time slots, the sportsbooks only allowed the public to win once. Out of 4 games, they won 3 and let the public win only in the lowest bet game. Lowered bet games, when multiple games were being played at once, such as the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock slots, the sportsbooks still managed a strong record, winning 8 out of 12 games on the spread. The higher the number of bets, the more it appears the sportsbooks come out on top. This pattern strongly suggests a predetermined outcome, where the house wins most of the time, especially in high bet games. So, what do you think? Do you see the pattern? Dive back into the video and see for yourself how the sportsbooks often come out on top. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights and updates. See you next time, and remember, stay sharp out there.